Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your March 2020 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. So let's dive right in now, Pisces, and see what this time period, which is from March 9th to April 7th, has in store for you. That's from full moon to full moon. And this is a really powerful time because in between these two full moons, we have, well, first starting off on the 9th of March, we have Mercury coming out of retrograde. So all that craziness, all that miscommunication is behind us for some time. So that's absolutely beautiful. We have a supermoon coming in on the 9th, which means that emotions are really going to be amped up, really powerful. And we also have the spring equinox, and this is just a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. And the spring equinox is on the 19th of March. There we go. And now I'm going to be moving your Queen of the Moon and your Moonology cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the tarot at the end to give Luna a voice of her own and really let the energy of the moon speak for herself. So let's see now, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus, what this time period has in store for you. How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. At the center of everything, we have the Queen of Swords. This is an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius. You are crowned by the Strength card, which is a Leo energy, a time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd. Then you have the Knight of Wands. So this is a strong fire sign presence right here. So a strong Leo presence, but also really echoing to the full moon, not the full moon, the new moon in Aries. So you have the Knight of Wands. This is going to be a time of taking action creatively. There we go. I can speak. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles, prosperity, abundance. The Six of Wands, celebrating yourself, Pisces. That's going to be really important. You're going to see that actually as being a bit braggadocious. It's really not going to be. The world is opening up to you in a very beautiful way. And then you have the High Priestess, which I feel fits you exquisitely, Pisces. There is a sense of you always seeing things that aren't right at the surface, which might not be your favorite thing. And that's why there's fear when we talk about Pisces. Like one of the biggest things that you have to overcome is fear. And that's because you can see what lies underneath the water much more clearly than others can. All right. And so when you look at something, you just don't see the surface value of it all. You see everything that's underneath, everything that can be affected. And that can lead to anxiety. So during this time, knowing your power, knowing your truth, I mean, look at you. You shine through right here, the moon card right here is you, Pisces, and then we have the Four of Cups, and we have the Two of Pentacles. So this really is a very, very powerful time for you, where you are embracing passion, where you are finding your balance, and you're finding the balance of celebration of self. So there has been a time where you've felt, out of sorts, as if you're not seeing the blessings that you want, or as if the blessings are made for other people but not for you. And now this is a time to celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Celebrate yourself. Move forward in your power. There is a beauty that is around you, and there is the sense here with the High Priestess of this love that is just a part of you. And you are moving the veil from before your eyes. You're moving it back. Now, it depends on where you are in this journey, how much you will be seeing, or how much you will be relying on your intuition during this time. And Spirit does tend to talk in riddles. So I always think of the High Priestess as the Oracle of Delphi. But I digress. Okay, let me get back on track and talk about this moon. This moon is in... Okay, so this full moon is in Virgo, which the energy around this full moon is about power. The full moon is about power. The full moon is about a surrender to the divine, knowing your power, knowing your understanding, surrendering to higher forces, divinity, the universe, however you say it, however you see it, and knowing that you are moving towards something really quite beautiful and really quite exquisite for you, Pisces. And as you do so, you are embracing this supermoon, which means emotions run high. This also amplifies the sign of the full moon. So the full moon is in Virgo. Now, Virgos are they're earth sign energies, okay? Very grounded, very centered, can be very compassionate, but can also be very fussy, all right? So you might find yourself being fussy, and it's going to be like you're going to want to have everything just right in order not to fall into traps of fear, or in order to help yourself move forward. You're going to think, oh, I just have to have it perfect. And Spirit is just showing me placeholders. Like, you can have placeholders for things. Things don't have to be perfect in order for you to move forward. And so with the full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. It's not being condescending, though a lot of times when I read it, that's really what I think of it. I'm like, oh, wow, you're good enough, okay. But being good enough is being enough. And how much of this world is spent? How much time does the world spend telling us that we're just not? Buy this and you'll be happier. Buy this and you'll be prettier. Do this and it'll be better. And here it's just saying, step back. Step back, Pisces, and know that you're enough. And you're really going to be seeing this during this time. You bring something to the table that is beautiful and that is unique. And you bring something to the table that is completely and utterly you. And this is a time of planting seeds. Why? This is an earth sign energy, okay? We're in a Virgo full moon. And as the emotions are amplified, you're going to start to see the roots that you put down having power and having truth. And as you do so, this moves us to the supermoon in the Queen of the Moon cards, which is attraction. What you focus on, okay? This is mindfulness. This is manifestation. What you focus on, you attract. So if you focus on things being cruddy, and everything being too much, that's what will be attracted into your life. If you focus on things being okay, it doesn't have to be great. You don't have to sit there and say, wow, my life is absolutely excellent and I would never like anything to change. I mean, you can. And if you're at that point, that's awesome. Do know that everything changes. Remember what Plato said, all is flux and nothing stays the same. So everything is constant change. And so here, there is this sense of moving forward and of attracting to yourself what you want, what you need, but also knowing that what you focus on will come into your life, because this is the worm moon. And I know that doesn't sound like the prettiest name for a moon, but it is really pretty. The more I think about it, the more I say it, the prettier it becomes. I mean, worms we think of as insignificant, but without worms we wouldn't have soil, and we need our soil. And so here, I love this imagery. We have the full moon, we have the cosmos, and we have this beautiful woman with the pregnant belly of the earth. And so the earth is pregnant with us, holding us, caring for us. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, I see this grass here as being the blanket being pulled up because it's time for slumber. You are going into the fall equinox instead of the spring. For those of us in the northern hemisphere, this beautiful grass is coming back. There's greenness, there's beauty. There's an awakening of the earth that's moving us forward. And so with this worm moon, there is this sense of creating something, of creating beauty, of what we plant really having power and really starting to take root. And this is going to lead us to really appreciating the new moon. Now, this energy around the planting, the fertility or the slumbering or the time within the womb, this is going to be really focused around the equinox, which is on the 19th. So you're going to feel that shift in that energy, that focus of the self, the soul, and your power moving you forward. Now, on the 24th of March, you move into a time of new beginnings. This new moon is in Aries. So here we have a new start. A new start is coming. And this is a time to take action. You're really going to feel like, this is my time. This is my time to go for it. This is where I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. You're going to feel around, now it can be on the 24th. It can be around the 24th, depending on how sensitive you are or where exactly you are within your journey. You're just going to have this urge to take action, this urge for change, this urge for power, this urge to move yourself forward. And this is this Aries sign coming through. Now, especially if you have Aries somewhere within your chart, this is just going to want to be heard. I mean, I'm really seeing it as being powerful for you. And what's interesting about it being so powerful is that, Pisces, you like to take things slow. You like to know everything. You like to, move slowly into things. And this is going to be like you being a battering ram. Like all of a sudden you're going to be like, this has to change. I'm going for this. Nothing's going to stop me. And really seriously, unstoppable. Unstoppable, beautiful energy is around you, which is exquisite. Now, on April 7th, we move into the full moon in Libra. Now, Libra is all about balance. Libra also really loves love. And so here it says a win-win outcome is forecast, but the balance comes from the heart. So if you can move forward, embracing your heart's truth, embracing the energy, the power, and the beauty of your heart, you are going to see yourself as a winner. If you ignore your heart, you're going to feel like something is off. It's like you're not going to be able to put your finger on it, but something is just going to be a little bit off. Now, this moves us to the wolf spirit and the whale spirit, which are the totem animals, the spirit animals for March. So the wolf spirit says, turn knowledge into wisdom. And what you're going to see during this time is that you are turning knowledge into wisdom. There is a sense of wisdom well earned. And you might be looking at your life and being like, I don't understand why this happened. I'm really not thrilled about it. I would have liked things to be different. But here's the thing. This is your story. This is your book. This is your play. This is your creation. This is your art. Your life is your art. And the thing that I love about art is not when it's perfect, but it's that humanity that's in it. It's that pain. It's when you can feel the emotion. And so what you are turning into wisdom, and what is becoming part of your wisdom, part of your beautiful narrative, is all the struggle that you have been through. The disappointment, the pain, the hardship. And with the whale spirit, you need to trust in the great mysteries. Now, need to is harsh. You do what is right for you. But trusting in the fact that everything doesn't have to be laid out. Trusting in the fact that you may never know. And that's okay. And trusting in the fact that sometimes it is just exquisite to go with the flow and to embrace your emotional truth and move forward in that power. Because in April, your totem animals are the wolf spirit and the hawk spirit. And the wolf spirit again says you turn knowledge into wisdom. And you will be turning knowledge into wisdom every moment of every day of your life. And the hawk spirit says, let spirit be your guide. Again, this correlates with the whale spirit, which is trust in the great mysteries. So as you trust in a higher power, you trust in a greater truth, you let spirit guide you forward. You let spirit move you. And as you let spirit move you, as you listen to your internal voice, your internal self, you cut through doubts and fears. I mean, you're a bit of a badass, Pisces, during this time. I mean, you cut through doubts and fears. You know where it is that you stand. You know what it is that you want. You reclaim your throne. You're going to be much, much more comfortable behind the scenes, Pisces. All right? So even though you have this Leo energy and this Six of Wands, which is like, I'm seen, I'm powerful, I know it, I'm owning it, you are going to feel much more comfortable behind the scenes. As you own your power, as you own your truth, it's for you. It's not for everybody else. All right? So be mindful with the Queen of Swords, as with all air sign energies. If you are co-watching and cross-watching, there we go, and you are an air sign, this isn't an insult to you. I myself am an air sign, and this is just part of our truth. So with an air sign, we can be sharp-tongued. We can be very cutting with our words. Be our greatest weapon. It's our greatest strength, it's also our greatest weapon, and it's our greatest downfall. And so here with the Queen of Swords, know for you, Pisces, it's going to be the same exact way during this time. Your words are going to be your greatest strength, your greatest weapon against the world, and can be your greatest downfall. So just be very mindful. Be mindful of the words that you speak. Be mindful of the energy that you put out. And also here, your mind, keen. right? So your mind is on point. You're brilliant during this time. And as you are embracing your brilliance, as you are moving forward, you're going to see conclusions to things that you haven't seen before. You're going to be like, wow, why didn't I ever think of it that way? And it's because doors are opening. It's because you're claiming a throne that you thought was lost to you. And as you do so, Spirit is like pouring a blessing over your head. It's like, you're ready or not, Pisces, here it comes. And as, excuse me, as you are embracing this blessing, whether you know it or not, you're going to be looking at these other cups, working out a problem, trying to solve something. I just keep on hearing the sound of music. How do you solve a problem like Maria? And it might be that you're trying to solve a problem that you yourself cannot solve. It's like those nuns could not fix Maria to fit her into the convent, right? She had to live her life and do her thing. And that's what I'm really seeing with you, Pisces. You have to live your life. You have to do your thing. You have to be you. And I know have to is such a harsh thing to say, and I don't mean it harshly at all. But what I'm really seeing here is just a sense of listening to your heart, listening to your soul. And why is that so important? Well, I firmly believe that we are all emotional beings. And you might say, oh, Dane, that's messy. Have you met people? We are messy. We are messy. But I think it's also brilliant. So when you look at somebody and you see them for the heart and the vulnerability that they are, and they might not look at you the same way because it's an odd way to look at people, right? It's a beautiful way to look at people, and our world would be so much better off if we could all look at each other this way. But when you start seeing the heart, the soul, the self, there's a level of vulnerability to life that can be overwhelming. But there's a level of beauty to life that is freeing. And so as you cut through doubts and fears, and you look at what you're worrying about, because remember, in this Virgo period of this full moon, fussiness, kind of nitpickiness can come out. And if you're a Virgo and you're cross-watching, I'm not trying to insult you, but this is just something that Pisces has to know. And so here, really open up your heart to what you desire, what you need, what you want, who you are. And know that things are changing. And as things change, you have the Strength card with the moon. You are finding your greatest strength is yourself. And it's not brute force strength. It's not, I demand strength. It's quiet, subtle, beautiful strength. Because this lion could take down this girl instantaneously, like blink, and she could be gone. But there's a love there. There's a respect there. There's a beauty there. And it's changing things for you. Now, it can be that you work brilliantly with a Leo energy or fire sign energy, but it can also be that you are channeling your strength. You have fears? Yes, most definitely. But here's a secret. Every person in this world has fears. Some charge through them and view fears as things to be conquered. Some sit with them for a little bit, keep on moving forward, and some live with them. But the thing is that we don't talk about being afraid. We talk about being afraid if we've made it. If you've made it, you're supposed to have this tragic, beautiful backstory where you come out this beautiful butterfly. But life is messy and life is overwhelming. And here your greatest strength is going to be moving forward in your heart's truth and not being swept out by the undertow. Why? Because you're a water sign. That's your thing. Water signs can be swept out by the undertow when you think you're swimming this way, and all of a sudden you're like, where the heck am I? When you get to shore. Your blanket, your people, all the way over there, and you're over here. So knowing your truth, knowing your heart, for you, Pisces, is something exquisitely beautiful. It is something where you're like, wow. It's actually your greatest defense against the world and your greatest weapon. And not that we want weapons, okay? But sometimes it's nice to have, that little ace in the hole, that little, zing in the back pocket. Because as you're moving forward, it's not being completely vulnerable, completely open, because that's overwhelming. There is this sense here of beauty and prosperity, and this moon shines a light, a spotlight on you. And you realize that, yes, you're stronger than you think you are. You're more powerful than you've ever believed. And there's an exquisiteness to you to be embraced. And as you do so, there needs to be a celebration of self. Now, this isn't an embracing of the ego and being like, I'm great, you're welcome, because that's annoying, right? But there is this sense of celebrating you, celebrating your successes, celebrating your prosperity, celebrating you. Not letting the ego take over, but being proud of who you are, not apologetic. It's so funny, especially when we're put in situations where we go back to feeling like somebody who has to apologize, or in a situation where we were apologizing for who we once were. It's kind of like going back to high school or something like that, or around people that, made you feel like you just weren't good enough. And we forget. We forget that we're not a mistake. What does the Bible say? Not to get religious on people, but we were created in the image and likeness of God. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's in chapter 1. We created in their image and their likeness. So if you want something from old ancient texts to say that we are spectacular, that's it. Now, whether this is a religious book for you or it's not, it's just words of inspiration, it's still exquisite. And so here, as you're moving forward in your success, as you're moving forward, and it might not feel like success, but you are putting one foot in front of the other. And by George, you are getting there. One foot in front of the other, slowly and steadily, even if it feels like you're walking in circles. You need to celebrate you. And that's a need. That's a need, Pisces. You need to celebrate you during this time, during this moon, planting of the seeds, embracing of your harvest, looking at what you want. Because you're balancing so much. And sometimes it feels like you're just keeping your head above water. And so here, with the 6 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles, you're finding your footing. You're embracing eternal prosperity. And as you embrace eternal prosperity, you have the world open up to you in a beautiful, exquisite way. Now, what I love about this world is that you have this man falling asleep, under this bush or tree or whatever the heck this is, and you have a fairy tale book right there. The world was open to him because his mind was open to the world. Do not limit yourself. Imagine, create, expand, explore. It brings you to the Ace of Pentacles, prosperity, abundance, bounty. This is a gift from God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. It's not a gift that you take right away. Unless, of course, it's in your subconscious message at the end. But there's a sense here that you are working towards something greater, something more. And it permeates and vibrates through every single aspect of this time. And as you're looking at what you desire, you're looking at what you want, blessings are coming that are going to shift you in a way you hadn't anticipated, hadn't expected, and you're finding more balance, more reason. You have a repeat of the number 2 here. There is a sense that communication, highly important. We can see that at your heart. There's also a sense of working with others, being very important to you. Okay? Blessings, beauty. I always see the High Priestess as the Oracle of Delphi. When I was little, she just enchanted me. That there was a person who could sit beneath the earth in this cave and speak riddles from the divine. I thought that was the most beautiful thing in the world. And now, yes, you can say, okay, Dane, that cave had, hallucinogenic gases in it, or deadly gases in it, and she was poisoning herself and high as a kite. Fair way of looking at it. But there was also a magic to it. There was a beauty to it. The divine spoke to her in riddles. And people came from all over the world to hear. And that is beautiful. And so you have that knowledge within you. You don't need to go to the Oracle of Delphi. There are those riddles within you. And they're riddles because you have to unravel them. Our truth is not handed to us in a little pretty nice wrapped bow, a box with a bow on it, and said, okay, here you go. This is who you are. Bravo. And if it is, we forget it by the time we're 5 Because by the time we're 5, we're trying to fit in with everybody else, and we can feel overwhelmed, and you might be a little bit shamed and taking in the doubts and the fears of those who raised you. And, there's a whole medley of things that goes on. And so here, the riddle is coming to the surface. You are also pulling away that veil from over your eyes. Now, does it mean that you're going to see everything crystal clearly? No. No, it doesn't. Depending on where you are in your journey, and everybody is different, depends how clearly you see things. All right? And how much you see. You might find it to be overwhelming. A high priestess time is overwhelming. It can be. It can be very overwhelming. It can be setting your life on a course that you just hadn't anticipated. And as you move forward, and as you evolve, and as you become, you step into this grace and this beauty. And there's a passion and there's a fire to you. And what I love about this is that the high priestess looks like she's sitting on a sliver of the moon, right? She's sitting on an octopus tail. And then here, we have the Knight of Wands looking at the high priestess. A sight to be seen. Something exquisite. But this is your passion. This is your creativity. This is you moving forward, determined. But you're looking back and you're like, what? What is this? And you're riddling it out. You're gaining an understanding of it. There's a passion to you during this time, and it's leading you forward. But you're always going to be looking behind you. And the key is, excuse me, during this time, not to be looking behind you at your past. Not to be saying, oh, I had this once and I lost it and I will never have it again. Or I have to recreate this exact moment. With this time, it's looking behind you to see your wisdom, to hear the echo of that riddle. It's kind of like when the goddess Echo speaks. She could only speak back to you what was said. She was an echo. That's where echoes came from, this goddess. So here, there is a sense of trying to hear more clearly, something that feels right out of reach. Calm yourself, center yourself. It will come. It moves you to wisdom. It moves you to the essence of you. And there are blessings that come over. So let's see what the Queen of the Moon and the Moonology cards have to say. How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right, here we go. How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the March 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Strong Aquarius energy here, Pisces. So at the center of everything, we have boundaries. Boundaries are going to be so important, and you're actually going to have to defend your boundaries. So during this time, as you are moving forward, clearly stating what you will and won't do, not in a mean, harsh way, because this can be the Queen of Swords, can be mean and harsh and cutting into the point, but in a powerful, decisive, this is who I am, this is what I've worked towards, this is what I want way, because that is also the Queen of Swords. Everybody has a positive and a negative. So your boundaries are important, and they let your wisdom, your beauty, and your prosperity grow, which leads you to the new moon in Libra, which says a new romantic cycle begins. And Libra is the full moon on April 7th. So there's a strong Libra presence here with balance and understanding, but also with love and the heart. A new romantic cycle can be falling in love, but it is also a cycle of the heart, of a love, a romance for your life, for yourself, that is going to be poured over you. And it moves you to extremes. Be very mindful of extremes, because this is over the Leo energy, right? And Leos can be very extreme oriented, right? And that's not going to do well for you, Pisces. You want things calm, you want things centered. And if you let extremes get in the way, okay, if you say people have to see me, if things have to move like this, there's going to be a force to you that goes against your own internal nature. And that's not going to be what you really like. Okay, so it's going to be a bit much. But know here that you also have this tremendous passion, which was seen before with the Aries in the new moon. So note that you might have a tendency to swing towards the extremes during this time and to get really fixated on like one thing and thinking, oh, okay, this has to be perfect. Step back and then move forward. Okay? But make sure you have that balance of heart and of self, because as you do so, you move towards the full moon in Aquarius, which says, show the world the real you. And for a lot of you Pisces, that could be something that you're very afraid of. Will the world accept me if I am truly who I am? Will they all laugh? Will they hate me? Will they walk away? Will they twist my words? What did Kipling say? If you can speak your truth, have it twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. And I'm not quoting that correctly. And that's from the poem If. And you might sit there and look at things, and people might be telling you you've said things that you haven't said. You've done things that you're sitting there, you're like, I didn't do that. Like, what the heck? So just know here, don't be afraid to show the world you. Don't be afraid to be you. Because as you embrace that truth, you release so much. And you're able to celebrate yourself in a way that almost seemed unobtainable before. And this moves you towards the gibbous moon, which says you are very close to achieving your goals, to finding your balance, your eternity of prosperity. And this moves you to wisdom. As the world opens up and you pick your stars, you cast your wishes. And as you cast your wishes, the new moon in Aquarius brings love into the situation, which brings prosperity, abundance, bounty, beauty, divinity. And you start a new romantic cycle. You start falling in love with your life and yourself. And you are very close to achieving your goals, which is beautiful. Discernment. The Virgo moon, very discerning. Okay? Very discerning, very picky about the energy you want by you. You know, you can find yourself, okay, kind of moving towards prejudices. And I'm not saying this in a mean or negative way, but you might be like, all people are like this. And then you might sit there and be like, what the heck did that come from? It can be a negative aspect of a Virgo moon, okay? So just be mindful of this. And it's going to happen because you're also seeing people a lot more clearly. So you're seeing a lot more disappointments a lot more clearly. And that can really be discouraging, really be disappointing. And so here, with discernment, also be discerning with the energy you let around you. Be discerning with your actions, with yourself, with what you will accept. It's kind of goes back to this boundaries here, with what you will accept and what you won't accept. Because what's going to happen also, if you don't have these clear boundaries and you're not kind of, listening to yourself, to the wisdom of the high priestess, you're going to get to moments where you just explode like a kettle on the stove, that's been left on too long, and it just like pops open and the whistle blows off and everything like that. So here, that's why the electric kettles are the best. That's why here with the high priestess, there's going to be this sense of really needing to listen to yourself and really needing to listen to those riddles that divinity is giving you, that your spirit guides are giving you, because it moves you to the full moon in Scorpio, which it's time to release the negativity. it's time to let it go. As you look back, and it can be that you're looking back towards this negativity. It's like, yeah, but this person hurt me. And yeah, but this happened. And yeah, but I'm angry. Everybody's a little bit angry. That's also another thing we're not supposed to say in this world. You're not supposed to be angry. You're not supposed to be jealous. You're not supposed to be frustrated. It's never supposed to be too much. But here, with the full moon in Scorpio, it's like, okay, I can be angry. I can be mad as hell. You know what? Is it going to change it? No, but that anger is going to fuel you forward. I'll show them. You didn't think I could. You gave up on me. You laughed. Now it's time for you to move forward. You look back. You're not looking back at the past, at the negativity, and saying this is where I want to live. You're looking towards the echoes of the riddles of your truth as they're echoed all around you. And as you hear and see and understand, you show the world the real you, because a new romantic cycle begins and you fall in love with yourself. Your subconscious message is the 9 of Wands. Subconsciously, you're tired of this nonsense. There's a part of you that wants to be like, you know what? I'm done. But here's the key. These are trees. Believe in yourself. Let the trees grow. Because as you believe, they grow. And this makes like a Texas fence. The best fences out there. Tall and sturdy and make the best neighbors. A nice, good fence. But what this does also is it purifies the energy that's coming towards you. And as it purifies the negativity, it brings you the positive. Because with the 9 of Wands, this is also being tired of hearing everybody's everything. And now it's time for you to move forward in your truth and in your power, knowing where you stand. You might say, Dade, I don't know where I stand. It's okay. That's okay. Stand in a moment. And just throughout every day, stand in a moment. And you'll get through the day and you'll start a new one. Your subconscious Moonology card is the full moon in Gemini. The answer you need are coming. The answers you need are coming. But you have to stop listening to everybody else. Because they will speak over the echoing whispers of the High Priestess. And it'll just keep you feeling lost and overwhelmed. Your subconscious message is resilience from the Queen of the Moon. You are more resilient than you believe you are. You carry the world tree on your back. And now it's time to let it take root and to plant new beginnings. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. May you have a blessed moon, and I love you all. Bye.